Hi everyone, it's Jordan with The Garage Company, and I am here to show you the 3 key fundamentals to having an epic garage makeover. So with that, let's get started. When you're doing a garage makeover, I want you to think about what you normally think about when it comes to a garage makeover. And the answer that I get most of the time is cabinetry, doing some type of storage system. But that's actually not the first thing that we focus on when looking at a garage makeover. The first thing that we focus on with our clients is a clear design and really have a good idea of what your plan is for this space. You know, sometimes people need it to be a very specific thing, whether it's converting it into a gym or a playroom. Sometimes people just want to maximize storage and still be able to treat it as a garage and put 2 vehicles in, 1 vehicle in. So before this garage was emptied out, we review with the client everything that was in the garage and what needed to be stored and where we're going to store that. So then we have that clear idea. So having that really clear idea of what we're going to do with the space really helps us then hone in on that design. So the second pillar we're going to be focused on is our construction phase. This is something that people often overlook. When we're looking at a garage like this, as you can see here, a lot of things need to happen to get it to the point where that construction makes it look like a finished room. So a couple of the things under that construction pillar that we want to be thinking about while the garage is open and in the state that it's in right now. First thing is going to be electrical, additional lighting. Fluorescent lights, definitely a thing of the past. We're going to be installing nice can lights in here. Additional plugs. If we're going to have base cabinets, we may want outlets above the base cabinets. When we're looking at all of these wirings, what are we going to do with that? We have wiring. The other things you want to look at is obviously there's an exposed ceiling. Sometimes you want to enclose that. Sometimes you want to leave it open. If we're going to leave it open, what's the game plan? How are we going to hide things? There are items that are a lot easier to do now versus in the future, right? Once you close up the walls, it's going to be a lot harder to move electrical or to add an outlet. Do we need to insulate the garage? You know, are your walls exposed to the outside, or are they internal walls, meaning that on the other side of that wall is the house, or is it the side yard? Let's talk about floors for a second. You know, as you can see here, there's an existing coating on there, whether it's concrete paint or epoxy. First and foremost, we are going to tear all of this floor up, and how we're going to do that is with a diamond blade grinder. So that's your most important thing when it comes to a floor, is getting off this first layer. As you can see, there's not only coating, but there's oil, there's grease. You know, this floor has been here for over 30 years, so we want to make sure we prep that floor. Then the floor is now ready for our epoxy coating, which will last us over 30 years because of that prep that we did. The one thing we really want to focus on when it comes to that construction phase is turning this garage into an extension of your home. The reason we want to do that and make this look as nice as it possibly can from that construction aspect is what it'll do to your home value. With the construction pillar, there are a lot of topics: electrical, plumbing, drywall, framing, painting, insulation, all of those things that will require many different trades to be involved. So there's the design pillar, there's the construction pillar, now we're on the build out pillar. We're finally going to discuss cabinets and what that situation is going to look like in this garage. And so with this garage, as the entry door into the house, you're walking out, you're going to have mainly, we're obviously replacing all of these with nice tall storage cabinets to really maximize the client's storage. In this particular garage, we have the ability to create those rafters and to put stuff up top. And then lastly, what we're looking at is in the places where maybe we can't fit a cabinet, or a cabinet doesn't make sense because we're still going to be putting a car in this garage, is slot wall. Slot wall is that groove paneling that gives us the ability to hook on beach chairs, ladders, gardening tools, everything up off of the ground. In this garage, the construction aspect is significant. The build out aspect with our cabinets is a pretty straightforward design. This garage makeover is going to take 3 weeks. We'll check back in with you then. Welcome to the final build of our renovation that we've been working on. So what I kind of want to talk about, obviously recap on those pillars, right? So that first pillar, design aspect. And really you can see here, we kept it very, very clean and simple for the client based off of what their needs are. But that second big pillar on this job is the construction aspect. And this is where a majority of the time was spent, majority of the cost was getting this room livable, essentially. And so we're gonna recap on some of the things that we did. If you recall, before the renovation took place, ceiling, we didn't have a ceiling. It was vaulted ceilings, needed some framing, some lighting, ton of electrical. So we enclosed the entire ceiling. So as you can see, we did some attic access, and that's gonna give us a lot of that bigger storage items, long-term storage, holiday items, things that we just need up and out of the way. We did a ton of electrical in this job. So as you can see, obviously the lighting, but we added in a lot of plugs, so a lot of outlets to be able to just not even have to worry about extension cords, anything of that nature. We also kind of future-proofed it in regards to EV, so we did 2 EV chargers actually, one on the inside and then one that's really cool with a lockbox, opens up, and then you'll have your external charger as well. All of the internet items that were just out and exposed on an open shelf, those have all been hidden now inside cabinetry. From a construction aspect, a couple of the other things that we did that we weren't originally planning, but have the ability to jump on and do, we actually replaced the client's doors. So both entry door and side yard door, but beyond that, we did all new door jamb, framing, which then required some stucco work on the exterior. We're able to handle that as well. And that's really one of the benefits of working with us is we have contractors on site. So if things like that needed to be added, not a problem at all. I mean, the client even needed some exterior stucco work on their chimney that we were able to take care of for them while here on site as well. But then we're gonna go into that last pillar, which is the build, right? As you're looking at it, you're seeing it and wanna kind of just focus, as I mentioned, really clean, really simple. We have all of our shelving. We kept it, no drawers in this job. We kept it all doors. So that way you have your adjustable shelves in there, better to store items, easier to store items, soft closing hinges as mentioned. And then we just maximize this wall with tall storage to be able to kind of organize, adjust. As you can see, it comes with 5 adjustable shelves that you can change, take out if you needed some bigger items, not a problem at all. And then one of the important things on this job is we left room for growth. As you can see, we didn't take up all of the space on the walls. And really why we didn't do that is because, sometimes needs change. Sometimes we get moved in back into the garage and realize, ooh, I need an open shelf for a bigger item, or more slot wall to be able to hang up additional items, or more base cabinets. So as you can see, we left some space to be able to add to it in that second phase. Regrinded the floor, our epoxy, 100% epoxy solvent. This floor isn't going anywhere. More of a subtle flake system that we did on this garage, again, to kind of just keep it a little bit cleaner with that aesthetic. So thanks for joining us on this project. It was a ton of fun, and we're on to the next one.